PFL. Let's do it. So PFL, it's like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a dick rider for PFL. It's just amazing. Just a new format. It's kind of like the NFL, but for fighting. So there's a regular season, and you have to score so many points to qualify for playoffs. Playoffs. So knockouts, finishes, subs, submissions, they'll get you more points to qualify. And then it's amazing. And then we can talk about Cinderella stories and like Ray Cooper III with a KO loss to John Doomsday Howard, UFC vet.
Fucking crazy.
It's crazy. Comes back to win it. New Year's, $1 million prize. And he actually has wins over Jake Shields, I believe, in the previous season, who beat his dad. Boom. Even more politics.
Yeah. Joe Rogan was talking about that.
Yeah, Ray Cooper III, Hawaiian, and he actually trains like not a big gym. He doesn't even train with like BJ Penn or Mac Holloway. He just kind of trains with his brothers in their garage.
There you go.
And
That's
he
where it all
has,
starts.
I believe, high level wrestling credentials. I believe like D1 or D3. But yeah, Ray Cooper III came back, beat Bulldog Rashad out of MMA Lab in Glendale with a knee to the body, and Rashad actually beat Doomsday Howard in the playoffs to get to that final seed. So nice Cinderella story, and just an overall great promotion. So Ray Sifu, former fighter, gone promoter, was World Series of Fighting, and now PFL. So I think he's got like a leg up on all the other promoters. Scott Coker, not really a fighter.
Yeah.
Dana White, not a fighter.
Well, he did box, didn't he?
Yeah, I think Dana White did. But it's an MMA fighter starting his own promotion. Awesome. It's kind of awesome. Not like you need to like fight to be in the fight business.
Yeah.
But
I don't.
I think matchmakers. So like we talked, I think about last time. Was it Joe Silva? He shot the shot. He shot a shot.
Yeah.
Just like message UFC like, hey, this is what I can do to fix it, and they're like, oh, come on board. So like when you're a fight fan, I think matchmaking is like your best option. Judging, refereeing, I would prefer that to be an MMA fighter. So we're seeing that now with Chris Liebman.
I mean, there's
Frank
so
Trigg.
much that you have to know to keep someone safe.
Yeah.
You know?
So Chris
In
Liebman,
a
Frank
sport
Trigg.
like
I believe who was a judge. Ricardo Almeida was a judge. Was actually like a professional judge. Like he would judge professional fights. So I like that when I see fighters, and it's kind of like a retirement plan for fighters.
Like that, because if you don't know what you're looking at, then how are you supposed to score it?
Yeah.
And I know
it's just like expertise.
raves about that all the time. But for the PFL, like how, like for the regular season, how does that work exactly? They're contracted because, like you said, that there's a different financial format. So like,
so
how
they're
does
under
that
salary, and according to sources, that's like the life as a fighter if you're under salary. So right now there's talks about unionizing. So we have Leslie Smith up north with the Scrap Pack, Diaz brothers, Gilbert Melendez, Jake Shields, Carrie Melendez, Gilbert Melendez's wife. I know they're like, she's heading, Leslie Smith. You guys might remember her from the epic blood spurting ear. She had cauliflower ear. She got hit in the ear and it exploded, and they had to stop the fight. And she was down the throw. I'm definitely Leslie Smith, man. I think she's in Bellator right now. But
she's had some.
they're talking about unionizing just to make sure fighters, it's kind of like an FU to promoters that are underpaying fighters. Because you can be in the UFC and some of them aren't getting paid a lot, like on the undercard, the prelims.
Yeah.
So that's like a leftist solution, not to get too political. And then there's the right-wing solution. Salary, motherfuckers. Living the dream. Get paid to train, paid to fight. You're still under contract, like you could say, make a contract and pay them salary, and you have to fight so many times a year, unless I guess there's maybe like clauses like, hey, I got injured, so I couldn't fight this year.
Yeah.
I blew out my knee.
So do they have, like in the regular season, do they have like a certain amount of fights that they all
I
have to
believe
get?
so, because it's like a regular season. To qualify for playoffs, you need so many points.
So basically, if you miss one or if you pull out
So right
one,
here on the stats, we have Lance Palmer, for
It's very
instance, for
hard.
featherweight, qualified with 7 points, 2 wins. Lance Palmer is kind of the GOAT right now, back-to-back season champion, $1 million winner, $2 million, which I believe after taxes probably is like half that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's
So,
especially
it's
where
like, hey,
they have it. Where'd they have the last one? On the 31st?
Yeah, on the 31st.
Where was it?
I believe New York.
Oh yeah, you're fucked. They need to go someplace that has like minimalistic taxes or something.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then he fought Alex Gilpin. I believe Daniel Pineda is the one that got hurt because he was on the other side of the bracket. So he fought Alex Gilpin twice, once in the semis and again in the finals. So that was pretty cool. It's just a really cool format. Like I'm a PFL dick rider. Sign me right, CFO, because Misha Tate won't answer my DMs because I don't want to cut weight either. Kidding, not really.
But really.
There was also Johnny Case. He was on, I believe, the first season, but he's been at Risen. He's out of Glendale too with the MMA Lab, where everybody's at. Sean O'Malley, Benson Henderson, so many names. I believe Jared Connor, the one middleweight
Yeah.
that probably is gonna fight for a title soon. Lightweight is Nathan Schultz all over again. And then boom, let's get into it. Let's talk about the women's lightweight. They made a division basically for Rousey 2.0, Kayla Harrison. So Rousey was just a bronze medalist. Kayla Harrison, I believe, is a multiple gold medalist in judo. And if you watch her fight, phenomenal. She is scary. Would not want to stand across from her. So she's actually bigger than Cyborg. They made a weight class at 155. It's a women's lightweight. It's
Jesus.
new. Nowhere else have that's been done before.
Yeah, but once you start it, usually it'll spread, right? Because you gotta
Yeah.
find fighters for her to fight. So eventually there's gonna be maybe 5, 6 that you can kind of.
We'll see. Time will tell. And MMA is always growing, so we'll see.
She's awesome.
I mean, we have, what was that? There was Risen and they did Gabby Garcia. It was like a heavyweight. She was like that grandma.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Very nice lady though, from what I've heard.
Yeah. I've heard she's super nice too.
Very nice.
It's like Chris. I've heard like Chris Cyborg is like
Yeah, I met her.
super nice.
She's really, really nice. Okay.
Should we talk about last night?
Should we
That's kind of
talk
something
about
we haven't
last
done today.
night? I know.
It was a late night, but it was awesome. So thank you to SPARSTAR, our local camo show, local MMA. It was also, I believe today was David Dankin's birthday. They wished him happy birthday yesterday, so shout out David Dankin, camo official, great guy. Was LA County Sheriff, and now
Oh shit.
head of the big leagues here in amateur fighting.
Nice
Pretty much
done.
is fighting.
Nice
Pretty much
done,
is at
sir. Nicely done.
pretty much at every fight I always see him. Great guy. The fight card was just stacked.
Yeah,
Heather Leanne, great
we
job.
can just go down the list here. So there was 15 fights. They started off with Anthony Romero versus David Marroquin. So I saw David fight actually on the last SPARSTAR card, and he actually had a pretty clean KO. He's very, very technical, and I really liked the way that he was still coming forward. He was still cutting off the cage, and I think what it kind of came down to, I don't know what you saw, but the power of Romero was just the damage that he was inflicting when he did hit. It was just kind of slowing him down even more. And, you know, he ended up getting that finish.
I believe
so
that was
he's
3
now,
threes too, correct?
Three
Three-minute rounds.
it was 3.
Most of the fights, there was very few shin pads, 3-2s. I think that was mostly at the post prelims.
Yeah, I only
She
saw
stacked the
that.
card really hard at the beginning,
Yeah.
which is usually where people are at. They kind of leave
Yeah,
at
which
the
was
end.
crazy. I wish they had like one fight before. I mean, I don't know. I was there on time, so it really didn't fucking matter because we had like get there.
It
like,
started
right.
a little bit late. They just
Yeah,
started
it was
exactly at
perfect
7.
because I got there right at 7. And I was like, oh shit, I'm about to miss this fight, and I didn't want to miss it because they started this off with a fucking banger. So
Yeah.
very, very good fight. I mean, I'm sure David will bounce back. I was still very impressed with his performance. I mean, both these guys were 2-0 coming into this, so not a lot of fight experience when you think about it.
I was just gonna say fucking Heather the whole time. She's so good.
Yeah, so that was dope. The next fight was
Billy
the
Poe?
cruiserweight fight,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Bass Rutten guy, Billy Poe.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see everybody come out, and that ended up in a finish in the first round, right?
I believe so.
First round finish for Mr. Billy Poe. But it was a good fight. It was really exciting. They kind of just started out and just kind of ran at each other. I believe the other guy like started out with like a leg kick like right off the bat and just kind of they were just going at it. So that was quite entertaining. And then we had a women's fight.
Dang, and then
Yeah.
I felt like it was kind of. Did you feel like so it was Downs, I believe, that seemed she was the taller, slimmer one. Winners was a
Kind of
bit
stockier wrestler
thicker.
type.
I felt like it was like she had maybe I don't know what Downs weighed in at. I don't know, maybe they're the same weight. I believe looking at them both actually,
It
if
says
they went
it's
plant
a
based.
lightweight bout.
Yeah, it was a lightweight.
So I mean that's
But
pretty big.
You
Not
could
big,
weigh
but,
in lesser than like 155. She could have weighed in like 148.
I don't know. I just saw a video of the weigh-in. I didn't actually hear any audio or read
Looking
the
at them both
captions.
though, like we talked about plant-based diet. Like,
Yeah.
I know it sucks, and I was talking to
I know it sucks. Okay.
it's horrible. I'm a carnivore. I was talking to Zach Krasinski, a guy I fought twice out of Bass Rutten. He was Billy Poe's teammate. And I was talking to him because he just did his debut at 155, and I was like, "What about 145?" He's like, "I can make it, but it's like it's not the same me." And then he's like, "I'm a carnivore," and I'm like, "Man, Zach, for fighting each other twice, we get along so well." Like, he's like my twin. Like we have the same hobbies. We're Packer fans. Go Pack, go.
Are one of them vegan? What is that?
What's that? Sorry.
Are one of the women vegan? Or one of these?
No, I'm just saying if the plant-based diet, they look like they could make like maybe 135, 125.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
155.
most
I mean,
It didn't look
if
like
you
they
threw
could
them
make-
up with, or we just talked about Kayla Harrison at 155. Kayla Harrison, they'd be like shrimps compared to Kayla Harrison.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just feel like they didn't really cut that much. Maybe that's in their future. I think they're just starting out in their
I mean,
careers.
they both have one fight under their belt.
Winners
you
is
can
at a
kinda see that.
Dynamics and man, I believe
Yeah.
it's a decent camp.
Yeah, I think the experience, it's kind of hard to, I don't know, necessarily break down like people that don't have a lot of fights, you know? Because then it's like some of them we can like, the people with like, that come from pretty like larger camps and stuff like that, it's a little easier to be like, okay, this is that and this is, you know? But, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good fight. Winters was 1-0 and Downs was coming in at 0-1. I mean, Winters pretty much, you know, was able to kind of dominate her in the clinch and grappling wise. She's just, you know.
And I felt like she used her
much more
stockier build.
dominant. Yeah, much more dominant. Came forward. Marissa Downs did well though. She did well though. I think did she have a takedown or no? I know Winters had a big one.
I was popping up and
like
down
a
talking to
slam.
fighters, interviewing.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a good fight. And then we moved on to Tristan and Dewan.
Wow. Yeah. So I came up with that one, and Rodriguez was just nuts. Was it? Yeah, it was Rodriguez. It was just.
It was a
He
good
was taunting
fight.
the guy and just.
Yeah.
I saw him. They were on the cage, and he hit him with a body shot. And I saw Azelle just grimace, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm glad I'm a featherweight because those boys were hitting hard at that
Right?
weight.
The
That was
first
at
round,
205, yes.
The first round, they were pretty even back and forth. The second
boys
round,
be
those
thick.
body shots and that cardio, man, was kind of catching up to both of them just a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too.
But I mean, whatever,
Rodriguez
you
slowed
know,
down
you know,
after a
it
little bit,
happens.
after throwing all the power
I mean,
shots.
Yeah, and just the differential in experience. I mean, Tristan is out of Black House MMA with one fight though, versus someone that has 4 fights. They have momentum. They know exactly what to expect. You know, he was good. He was good. But yeah, the taunting, I was like, I don't know, we should do
Tongue
that.
out, June 7th.
You know, yeah. But it was.
But
good.
like he kind of had his number, but Azelle came back a little bit. Like I said,
Yeah.
Rodriguez kind of died down after. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't as like a barrage or whatever.
At first, I thought it was just gonna be a steamroll, but then he slowed
Right.
down. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting a little bit worried. Like, I feel like if Tristan's gas tank was that much better, he could have caught him.
Yeah.
I think he could have
Or
caught
just
him. Because I was kind of having it, I was like,
submission.
I don't know, he's kind of coming forward, his hands are down, he's not really reacting like 100,000%, you know? And I
But
was
he
like,
pretty
oh,
much
okay,
kept
maybe
Azell in
he
the
can
back
catch him.
foot. Like it seemed like Azell was just on the defense the whole time.
Yeah, that forward pressure was driving the pace of it, and I think
Rodriguez is just a scary motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was like cage side, just seeing him close up, just
Right?
just throwing the lead.
God, those body shots, man, they kind of make me cringe a little bit. Let's see.
I believe it went into
Zellner.
yeah,
right?
Miranda and Zelda, right?
Yeah.
I thought that should have been a title fight.
Yeah.
But now that opens up, and I'll get into this later, to my boy Trevor Santana. Which I don't know if Richie's going to go pro, El Machete. If he's going to go pro, but right now he's a KO belt, KO promotion, the lightweight strap, and he could fight, like I said, for SPARSTAR. I thought this one arguably could have been a strap. I don't know if...
Yeah, a lot of people were
There was already like, how many titles? There was already like, what, 6 titles?
Yeah, a lot of people were asking if it was a title fight because it was pretty good.
They both have a lot of fights.
Yeah.
Zellner has the IE Fight Night, Inland Empire. That's what IE stands for. Found that out.
Oh, nice.
From Lorenz Larkin, Bellator fighter, former UFC fighter.
Who just
As a
won.
promoter of that one. He just did fight recently,
Yeah.
and I believe in
He
Japan
won.
and
Yeah.
Bellator.
He had a great performance.
So Zellner has that belt, and then, like I said, Richie has a KO promotion belt. Tracy Hess, Antonio McKee, shout out. So yeah, it arguably could have been for a SPARSTAR. I
Yeah,
believe it's
it
a
was
vacant
good.
belt.
It was a good fight.
I believe just Richie with a grappling
Oh
turned
my
the tide
god,
and win
sprawl
it.
game.
Sprawl
Sprawl game
game.
crazy.
I was
Yeah.
impressed with the back taking constantly.
Yeah.
Whether it wasn't even both hooks. It was one hook, and then I'm
Yeah.
taking her back, and I'm
And that was
backpack.
for the first
I'm-
minute.
we're going to school.
Yeah,
I'm your
first
backpack. I was.
Circle your legs away from the cage. Punch, Rich! Punch hard! Go right now! I'm telling you, start the climb, go! You're too fast. Go! Let's go, boy. Show me what you got. Let's go! Simple, lock it in! Heavy hip, Rick! Richie, heavy hip! Lock on that shoulder! Grab your ball!
Pretty much multiple times in the fight, taking us back, and then Zellner kind of just succumbed to just getting his back taken, like over and over, and then
There wasn't really an answer for it.
just Richie pummeled with the takedowns. I thought Zellner was going to come up top because some of the times, Richie took a shot, didn't finish it all the way, and then they're out in that limbo period where maybe Zellner might throw an uppercut, might sprawl him out, take top position. But, an entertaining fight.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be more closer, but then,
Yeah,
El Machete.
I feel like
Fucking
once if
turn
they
the
were
tides.
apart, then it was more even. But once he was able to get a hold of him, then it was like.
I wonder if they fought again too. So if they did, let's say they bring those two back for, let's say, the lightweight strap, and they fought again,
Yeah,
if it would be a
I'd
different outcome,
still
maybe
wanna
game
see it.
changing. They're both from Super Camp, so you have CSW, who was in full
Fucking
force.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking swinging dick at CSW.
They brought everybody. I was
Yeah,
like,
man,
oh my
they
god,
always
this
do
is
that.
fucking awesome.
So they curse Melendez,
Fucking
Gonzalez.
awesome. Yeah.
All their whole. They have a huge depth. I believe it's like 155 to 135. I believe Curtis is like the only biggest dude there at 170. Otherwise, they're mostly
He's tall as shit too.
flyweight to lightweight.
Yeah, no jokes happening.
And then
there.
Zellner comes out of Millennium MMA, so there's like Tatiana Suarez, I believe, Johnny Cisneros. There's a brand, it's a franchise Millennium MMA. There's multiple gyms, but there's that
it's
main
like
one.
Rancho Cucamonga. I
The
think
main
it's
one's in
Rancho
Rancho,
Cucamonga.
yeah. But I was talking to his teammates. So there's Obi, who was also on the card. Obi, I believe, is usually at 170, but he came down for 155 for Trevor's fight,
Yeah.
Santana. But they also have I forget his name, Churro Hernandez, who's 145, and he's a phenom too. So those three, I was telling the three musketeers when I was talking to them down in the locker room. So that's a super camp, you know, when you have teammates on your way around, you know.
That's key, man. You gotta have like high level people to
push you.
And that shows in the amateurs. It shows that they've been training with people that
high
are
level
very
people. So you see that with CSW, Black House,
all these places.
CMMA,
Yeah.
Cody Davis. Can't we talk about you? So moving on, let's talk about Obi and Trevor Santana. Trevor, my guy, came through. I only spar with him here and there on Fridays. He trains at multiple places. I believe in his corner he had Brady, and then Christian Aguilar. You know, big vet out of your own mama. He trains with everybody. Moses Marietta trains with him as well. Yeah, Trevor, who's never wrestled a day in his life, is such a great wrestler. When I found out he never wrestled,
right?
He only did cross country in high school.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
And he has that wrestler build. He looks like a wrestler.
Yeah, so that's a good little strategy right there.
And I believe and then his style, he always comes forward. He just comes forward.
Yeah.
So I believe that changed it.
That's what I like. Like, he tries shit.
I'm actually kind of jealous of his skill.
I tagged him in one clip or whatever, and it was like him doing this spinning back thing, but it hooked at the end. I was like, ooh, he got some sauce on it. I was like, look at him go. We doing spinny shit now? Yeah, hella saucy. Good job, Trevor. But yeah, I mean, he came in undefeated.
I believe it's 5-0 right now.
Yeah,
or
5-0.
Oh my God!
He came in at 4-0.
I want to argue if Miranda doesn't go pro, they should do the lightweight 155 strap. If not state title, the camo, or excuse me, the SPARSTAR title, which Mike Gross on Gym Crasher podcast might be more prestigious than the state title itself, SPARSTAR. Yeah, because Heather will never ever throw you an easy fight. I can speak from experience.
Yeah, she's not playing around.
She looks good, even match people.
Came in at 3-3-0-1. I was at his last fight. He was on SPARSTAR, and it was like an eye poke against Frank.
Oh, yes, I remember. I was there for that one.
That owns, what is it, the 46ers, 49ers? What is that thing? His company, right?
86ers?
Yeah.
I believe Mike Segura, my teammate, had them as a
t-shirt. Yeah, they sponsor everybody. Yeah, he sponsors everybody. And I was like, oh shit, that's dope. But yeah, that was his last one. It was a no contest, and that was a very back and forth fight. This fight was pretty evenly well matched, I thought. It presented a lot of problems, or a lot of questions that both fighters had to address, but they were even enough to where it wasn't so lopsided that you're like, okay, guys.
Yet again, fucking Heather. She's great.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the ones that went to decision, right? So.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's a lot of finishes, and then there's a lot of, pretty evenly matched ones. There wasn't any, actually, except for one later down the card. I think one was 30-26 or something for one round, but something like that. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. They're amateurs. It's okay. Okay, so fight 8 is the mark. Yeah.
Who was 4-0.
3.
I believe got the TKO finish in round 1.
Yes, which a little bit.
Is that premature?
I thought
there was
it could have been stopped earlier.
Oh, it could have been stopped earlier.
Yeah.
You thought it was not premature, post-mature.
I mean,
save the guy.
I thought he was. He was fine. He got up and he was fine. But dude, there was probably about 40 unanswered strikes over there. Or over here or something, and then it ended up moving over here, and then it was just strikes, and you could kind of see Mark he's not fighting back. He was talking, I believe, to the ref. That's what it looked like. He kept looking up at him.
Smart, respectful fighter.
So
I'm becoming more of a Mark.
Because it seemed like he was gonna do something, and then he wouldn't, and then it seemed like it, and then he wouldn't, and so I can understand how the ref was trying to give him a chance.
He just looks bad. Just looking at his mugshot, Pacquiao is just.
But he seems like a really nice individual. And afterwards, after his first round finish,
proposal,
Yeah,
marriage,
so
in the
cute.
SPARSTAR cage, amateur
Yeah.
MMA. I think that was the first. Like, I've only seen that with I've heard about it. I remember UFC. Benson
Shout out to
Henderson.
Mark, first one doing it.
Benson Henderson did it after his UFC and defending his strap.
Yeah, I
One of the
remember
fights,
that.
he did it with his wife.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Good job. Shot it.
I would be scared shitless. Like, what if she says no? Or like, you know,
Fuck.
what if you lose? So you gotta think big
Well,
picture.
I think
Big
it has
picture,
to
he
be-
planned this before the fight happened. He's like, I'm gonna beat this guy. And
Yeah.
maybe he didn't know he was gonna do it. I mean, I bet
Well, I mean,
you
you
go
could
in there
just
like,
be
yeah,
like,
I'm gonna finish the
If
guy.
I win, I'm gonna propose, and then maybe he could.
But he was a first round finish, proposed to his girlfriend, and I believe, due to my Instagram stalking,
Right. he did it right.
they've been dating for
Right
3
way.
years. They've been in a relationship for 3 years. So,
They
yeah.
hella cute. So congratulations to them.
Congratulations. It was nuts.
Yeah, and congratulations on the win as well. That's always good. And then moving on to the next bout, your man.
Cody Davis. I'm a Cody Davis fan. We're not even on the same team, but I believe I was there for his first fight. I was cornering some of my teammates at KO Promotion, and he's just a phenom. He's literally like Mighty Mouse. And his teammate, I don't know if I pronounced his last name wrong, Taylor Alfaro. You know him from CMMA?
Yes.
They're about the same build. They're kind of just short little. They look like Mighty Mouse. They're kind of Mighty Mouse's like twins. They're like could maybe pass off as their brothers or.
Crazy movement. Like, I mean,
They're just so well rounded.
yeah,
Cody
Carlos
was
Morales was fucking good too. I mean, he's over
He
here
was
switching
on-
stances, doing hella shit. I was like, oh my god.
ESPN,
Very
Ronda
nice.
Rousey show sponsored. Kathy Zagana hosted. It's called Why We Fight, and I believe that was his first or second fight. And I believe he's like a UCLA alum, Bruins, and I believe he has a degree. So he's a smart guy. So he doesn't really have to fight, but he just loves to fight.
Yeah.
Came out with a Naruto headband, so you're thinking nerd,
Yeah.
but that nerd could fight. Just like, Stylebender. People
Yeah.
like make fun of him. They're like, is he like a nerd? Is he like into anime? And then look at Stylebender, phenom.
Oh, fuck it.
But Cody just his well-roundedness kind of changed the fight. His grappling, I think, turned the tide for him. His wrestling.
Well, once he took his back, there was a moment there where the choke wasn't really in, okay? It was not in. He cranked his neck so hard. And I had this clip. I didn't post it because it's
Chad
like,
George,
so
shout out.
crazy.
Savage, his name's Savage for a reason. Everybody from his camp. So, and then Cody's just his disciple. It's great.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, in the fight, he had a crazy crank on his neck, and you could see, like.
Sometimes a crank will allow the choke to get sunken in, or
But
like the
his-
crank is so bad.
Okay, so he had sunk in that crank twice. The second time it worked. The first time, Carlos's eyes got so big. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen. He was like, damn, you can see on someone's face,
Like a cartoon?
oh my god.
Was it like a cartoon?
Almost like it was crazy. And then he sunk it in the second time, and then right as the 10-second buzzer
Adjustment.
goes,
That's a professional. That's somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna adjust. It'll
However,
sink in.
he also had this string on his shorts that were really, really bothering me. You notice that? Like, how is that? What is that? from?
Carlos's or Cody's?
Cody's.
Cody's?
What is that from? Because it was like to the point where it's
Is
like
it
it could
drawstring?
be, I don't know, it could be like a interference. It was
Oh
like
yeah,
2
I noticed
feet
that
coming
for
out.
Ethan Ewing too. He had his just sticking out. Like, why don't you tuck it in, man?
Yeah, or like the ref.
I'm surprised the ref
I don't know.
didn't like.
Right.
Hey, can you just tuck that in real quick?
Yeah, what are we doing? But it was good. I mean, on the feet, it was very, very technical. It was the perfect. What did they fight at? Flyweight.
Yep, 125.
Perfect flyweight.
He's gonna
bout.
defend his belt again. Talk about that later.
Yes, sir.
And that was for the state title. It was no shit. That was no joke.
Yeah, that was a good fight. It was a good experience. Good amount of fights on both sides.
Speaking of state titles, 135 was also on the card. My boy Arturo Herrera versus Christopher the Constructor Cruz. And Arturo was known as Sad Boy. I think he changed his fight to his nickname to Good Boy for the fight. And I was thinking, well, you better change that tattoo on your chest too, because he has sad boy tattooed on his.
Yeah,
but he was feeling himself.
He also has fuck tattooed right across his knee. I was like, damn, this name is savage.
He's a great guy. Like we talked about him last podcast too. He's got a stand-up comedy.
He's fucking awesome. I've never really seen him fight. We were talking about this earlier, and I was very impressed. Even though it didn't go his way that last night, I was very, very impressed with his. I mean, he got caught, but his ability to scramble, like the fight was like, dude, it was like this the whole time. I was
like,
oh my God.
Two feral cats.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And then, for like Christopher being a grappler, it was a basic striker versus grappler matchup, but I thought Christopher was gonna have more control and just hold him in places, but Arturo kept scrambling that jiu-jitsu. It didn't really go his way. I think we could have separated a little bit more. Like I said, I'm gonna throw my bias for my teammate. I feel like he could have just separated and made it his fight. It was a striker versus grappler, so let's keep it striking. Let's not engage in grappling.
It definitely.
And that was his ultimate downfall. And
yeah.
He gave Chris. A chance, and that was a beautiful finish.
It was definitely. It was like, what is happening? Oh my God!
It's a risky
move. He verbally tapped. It wasn't like he even had a hand.
I've been in that position before too, where it happens so quick you don't have time to physically tap.
Yeah. But in Arturo's defense, like someone, right? Okay, this could just be, I don't fight, so I don't know. But like when you have someone that has not the greatest gas tank. Okay, so say if you're a striker, you can still stick and move and get someone tired that way.
Yeah,
right?
you can walk the dog, as I like to call it.
Okay, so you can still do that.
Eric Vanderlee used to do that to me all the time. Walk the dog. Yeah. So you just basically when I say walk the dog, you just make someone chase you, and they should try to cut you off, but sometimes they get kind of memorized like a cobra.
Yeah.
Move back and forth. So you just end up following them, and then you just end up eating their strikes the whole time you're following them and not getting them off.
So sometimes it can backfire.
So it's walking the dog.
Yeah.
You're just a pawn. You're just a little puppy.
I would think if you have someone that can't necessarily get out of the second round or maybe the first round, and it kind of something that's like a heavy.
But it seemed like Christopher was actually on the back foot most of the time. He was the one backing up.
Yeah, but
at the beginning, he was shooting for the takedown.
When I saw him fight before, it went to a decision, and it was a split decision. And like the third round, I feel like if the person that had been fighting him was the same size, he went up 10 pounds or 6 pounds or 5 pounds or whatever. But he went up in weight. Like if he had kept, it was very grapple heavy, and so he was kind of able to kind of do what Arturo was doing. He was kind of
scrambling
getting around it. But he was so tired. He was like wobbling. In the third round, I was like, oh my God, like someone's gonna die. Like when it gets stressful, you're like, so this person.
Well, it does suck going from striking to grappling. So mixing. There's two different cardios.
Yeah.
So like when you're in grappling mode and then you're told to get into striking mode, you're like, whoa.
So
it's like swimming and then running. So you ever been in a pool?
Yes.
Try to swim up, like and say like around 800 meters, and then go try to run. It's like your legs won't even work. Or vice versa, trying to run and jump in the pool. It's like two different cardios.
Yeah, most definitely. It was just interesting where it's like, okay, I could kind of see that game plan, but after, kind of getting to know that maybe that was not the best game plan to go in there with, I don't know. It was just it was interesting. It was a good display of just scrambles during that event. It was all over.
And let it be known, Christopher Cruz, I believe, has like 14 fights. So.
Yeah, he came in at 6 and 7.
He had a bad start to his career, but on the up and up right now. Now he's a state title. I don't know if he's gonna go pro. Maybe he'll try to defend the title. We'll see. Black House MMA, good camp.
Yeah, and it was a good win too. It was a good win. I think it was a good test for him as well. Moving forward. The next fight was the co-main event, right? So Robert Pullman versus Sid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've heard of like Sid because just through he trains at Classic, and I know through them and like.
And he has quite the.
I didn't know. Yeah, so I didn't know if he was gonna keep it standing or take it to the ground, because I know Rob Perlman, who was quite lean for that fight. He's a bit thicker, but he was really lean. I've never seen Rob that lean. He looked really good.
He looked good. He looked fit. He looked ready.
He looks so lean. So Rob's a black belt, and it was kind of like, so Sid took the first round, and basically Rob did the same to him in second, but finished him.
But he also had amazing, like at the end of the first round, Sid had his back for a considerable amount of time.
Yeah.
He did so well fighting the hand.
It was a musical chair. They just switched roles.
He was just in there, and then he was able to get it out. It was crazy. Like there was moments in that fight where you were like, oh my god.
Yeah, Sid could have maybe did the same thing that Rob did to him in the second and finished it in the first, but you know.
Yeah. There was
fucking fight life, the fight game.
And just getting hammer fisted upon, it was kind of there wasn't really an answer at that point, that late in the round. But I don't know, I thought it was a good fight. I enjoyed watching it. It was a good co-main event. I thought it was co-main event worthy, and a good moment for Perlman. It was a very good moment
because he's been fighting a while too.
Yeah.
And then
big things. And then the main event.
CSW, CMA, Super
Holy
Games.
Shit. So,
Ethan just took the fight. I mean, you could argue it's premature. So Ethan's grandpa was sitting right next to me, cage side, and he was like,
"Oh, that's what that was."
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, it was kind of early." Like his own grandpa even kind of said that. But I think Ethan would have kept. He would have kept the same pressure. It was inevitable. Almost.
He ended up in full mount.
It was takedown, full mount, ground and pound. It was just
the noises that his ground and pound were making
for such
in the crowd.
Yeah, 145.
You could hear it. I was like, oh my god, those are breaking bones with
like I thought Rodriguez Azel was loud. He was pretty loud.
Bro, crazy.
And for the OCD fans, yes, his drawstring was out.
For him?
Yeah, the drawstring was out. Yeah, I thought that was weird too. I'm like, I just tuck that in.
Okay, guys, let's get it together.
Tuck your drawstrings in.
Yeah, let's get it together.
There's OCD people out in the crowd.
I'm just kidding. Oh my god, but yeah, it was dope. But I mean, they had crazy. He had everybody in that walkout. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, for CSW.
Yeah.
I feel like if El Machete had that, if they would have given him time, they would have had the same thing, that kind of feel. But kind of warmed him up. And then when you're fighting with your teammates on the card, which we saw, Steve May had multiple people on. Millennium MMA, which we talked about, had multiple people on. You kind of, even if your teammate loses, then that hypes you up even more. Like, I'm going to get that back. When you fight with your teammates on the same card, you're just kind of hyping each other up. You're like, you feel like the Wolfgang has rolled up, kind of like how CSW does when they pack it out and they walk out.
And
like,
that
Wolfgang
helps.
is there.
That fucking helps.
It's like a persona. Yeah, it jars you up. Yeah. And then on top of that, the classic CSW slap to the face.
Which is fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome.
Because
it scares everybody. Like, if you've never...
I wouldn't really...
But if
Adam Wynn ever did that to me, I'm like, I don't feel like it.
Yeah. But when people in the crowd, like, if they've never seen anybody fight out of there, everyone gets scared. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
I believe...
And it's awesome to start
the
off
announcer,
like
too, Jonathan Tucker.
Oh, he was...
He even said it best. He's like, you really didn't get touched besides his flaps.
Yeah.
By Ben Jones, and I think that's the goal. Like, I didn't get touched.
Well, I mean, it gets you woke up. Those are not small, open hands.
Yeah, Ben Jones beats the... Well, they switch off because I believe sometimes Curtis will do it or sometimes Jacob Rosales or two.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it makes an absurdly loud noise and fucking...
Especially if they have fighters that fighting at different multiple locations.
But I think it's a good way to wake up, Just get hit hard as fuck.
I don't believe there was that much combat sports action besides, SPARSTAR and then Lion Fight. So I had two teammates on there from Montel Boxing. Diego Pez got a draw. Julio Rios lost it real close, I heard. So Lion Fight was the only thing really going on.
What? Yesterday?
Yeah, for SPARSTAR.
Yeah, Saturday. I mean, there's a few other fights after this one. After that, which one did you leave after the De Silva fight?
Yeah, I stayed for Anthony's fight because I know him. I spar with him at Iron Man. He's under Malik.
Yeah.
He's like his mentor. He's
And
a
then,
fighter. He's a Cali World
Joseph-
champion.
Joseph Peralta comes out of
It was very back and forth.
Uprise, but he also has a very high Muay Thai background, right?
What I
didn't
noticed
see
was,
that.
Tony, Anthony De Silva, he was just kind of more flat-footed. And
He
then
had to take down-
Peralta was just hopping. There was a hop and a step at all times.
He was catching him very clean, hard to the face.
It was
I
really
like,
a close
"Yo."
fight. So I think I turned to you and
Yeah.
the others around me. And I'm like,
But
I don't know how to score
De
that.
Silva has a fucking chin, man. I think he'll be alright, you know?
He
He'll be
landed some
aight.
too, and I believe he got some takedowns.
Yeah, he did. It was very
I thought
bad.
it was over when he got the first takedown, but then I heard Peralta's corner, retain your guard. Next thing you know, retain his guard, and then he's back up. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, wow. This
Yeah.
guy's pretty good. It's just hard to 3-2s. It's hard to fight those because
Yeah.
I'll talk
Because it's
to
hard to dispatch someone in 15 minutes, let alone,
6.
you know?
And then there's large breaks, so you get 2 minutes, stop, 2 minutes, like
Yeah,
it's
and
just
then it's
it's my
it's
pet peeve for
crazy.
the lower amateur ranks, like
because
just
it's like you're
2-3s.
settling in, and dude, 2 minutes is nothing.
And it's hard to judge that. I hate to be
Yeah.
a judge on that because
Yeah.
you sneeze, the fight's over. I'm like, oh fuck, who won?
And you knew. Let's see, the next fight, Alberto Ruiz versus Christian DiGuerro? Is that his
Yep, I believe so.
Christian? I'm just got you, Christian. So it was Christian's debut, and I have to fucking say, it was very impressive. Very impressive. It was like first round finish, I believe. And he was so composed, like, because you don't really know what's gonna happen or what someone's gonna do. I don't think even they know. Like when you had your very first fight, like, did you know kind of how you were gonna act or how you were gonna react once getting in
It's
there,
perception versus
doing
reality.
things?
It's like, how do I?
Because it's different, right?
Your
You might
basic
act
analogy
different.
for everyone. Maybe like your first date. You can maybe think about
'Cause
that.
you don't really know what to expect, right?
Yeah, but you're confident and you're like, oh, this is how it's gonna go, and then it completely goes wrong. But then you
Yeah.
somehow salvage it, I guess, maybe, or maybe it's a complete failure for some
I
people.
don't know. He was so composed in there, dispatched this man beautifully, and I believe the other dude was coming out of 10th Planet, right? And he submitted him. He caught him in a armbar, reverse something with his face. What is that called?
Versus armbar, just from kind of like the. Are you
that's
talking
what it
about how Christopher did it too?
Yeah.
Kind of just top belly down armbar,
Yeah.
which is a risky move to like give up the back, because if the armbar fails, like
Well,
or
he got.
if you don't break the linear change, like you're gonna end up on bottom.
Yeah.
But if you go belly down and you keep him solid, then yeah, you get it.
Yeah, gotta have that good balance. Yeah, because there was a scramble and then he ended up on the bottom and then he threw that shit up and then boom. Boom.
Well, you see that a lot from. Well, we just talked about Rousey earlier. She did that a lot all the time, belly down on bars.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. Very impressive performance out of him. And I believe he's just 18, right? Or did they say he turned 19? I don't know.
He
On
looks
here it
quite
says
young in
18.
pictures.
Yeah, you're like, just 18 years old.
Starts so young. It's like a Max Holloway, and now look, I'm 28 years old.
Right, and he's so well-rounded and so... He'll be alright. He'll be alright. And then we had Iman Baker versus Richard Trio.
Yep.
So it was a 0-0 guy versus a 0-1 guy. Iman's out of CMMA.
Knockout her around
And,
the world.
It was a bit scary because you could definitely see the differential in hours spent training MMA. You know, it was kind of like, I mean, everyone, should be able to be allowed to get in there and, test it out and experience. But I cannot stress to you enough the gap between an amateur MMA fighter that is ready to fight someone and someone on the street. Like, they're completely different. Like, don't think that you could just
Unless you
compete.
yell out prison rules, bitch, and grab a shank,
yeah.
or do it for the gram.
Right? Like, I always, give props to people that can get up there and fucking go in the ring and put it all out on the line. But yo, like, this is fucking dangerous. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like who lets you do that?
Like, he was kind of rocked before,
Who
so
let
this
you
is
do that?
one of the very few
It
KO
was scary.
slams.
It
you
was
see.
literally, I was like, oh my god.
He
this is
slammed
like,
him off a takedown and knocked him out, but he was already kind of rocked
and he got
out
one
of it.
hammer fist after that. Fucking
Yeah.
scary. That was like Thug Rose and Andrade all
Oh
over
yeah, that's
again.
the last. Oh,
That was the
the
first
last
thing
KO
I
slam
thought
I've
of.
seen.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
There are very few, so yeah.
I mean,
that was the
best
last
wishes to
recent
him.
one, big one that we know of. So just seeing that.
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
Baker was just phenomenal. He's out of CMMA and just
you have footwork. You know how to throw punches. Like,
Scary
you know,
man.
there's a lot to it. There's a lot to this MMA shit.
I wonder what his
if
nickname
you don't
is.
MMA.
I feel like his name should be Brutal Baker. Baker,
Jesus.
if you're gonna listen to this, your name should be Brutal Baker.
There you go. It's free. It's for free. But I mean, on Baker's side, I mean, it was a good performance. He didn't do anything stupid. I don't think he clearly
He put
probably
himself out
within the
there.
first couple feeling out moments, he could probably realize, okay, this person's probably never really sparred.
You know what? Actually, too, when you go against someone with less training, it's kind of awkward too because their awkwardness. You're like, how do you?
Because you could get caught. It happens.
When I spar with new people all the time, like trying to the gym or things like that, I'm like, I don't even know what to do with you because
That's
you're
how
so
people get
awkward.
hurt. That's how people get hurt.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like in jiu-jitsu, like
You
when you're
gotta
an
know what
awkward
you're
spazzy
doing.
person.
Yeah, you gotta know what the fuck's going on. But yeah, I mean, welcome to MMA. And then there's another fight on the card, 2 debuters, but we're not gonna.
They didn't make the cut. Let's say that. Going on.
No offense or anything, but
So
moving on.
our local show here yet again that I fought at before. Knockout Promotions started up again. Tracy Hess, Antonio McKee, AJ McKee's dad, and they both just fought. Well, AJ just fought in Hawaii, but before that they fought in the same card together. That was so cool. Because I believe Antonio's like 50 now.
Something like that.
And he's
But he still looks like a
Yeah.
goddamn superhero.
So yeah, they have an upcoming card. We just talked about Cody Davis. I believe he'll be fighting Randy Sosa, defending the state title. Maybe I think he already has a KO promotion title, so maybe he's defending both. Tracy likes to give out multiple belts, especially for one fight.
Oh my god, Chase is on this.
Chase Whitmer, White Team Warrior. Yeah,
That's so exciting.
up and
I
coming.
didn't know he's fought 3 times already.
Yeah, devastating. Just crazy.
Wait. So this dude is probably not on this one, right? I can only assume. Because Richard Chiro just was the one that just got his neck broken in half.
Who?
This one, number 5.
Oh, the one we just saw.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm assuming
no,
that
because
was off.
it'd be too quick for suspension. So
Yeah.
the one that Baker we just talked about, Brutal Baker, CMMA, just got that slam KO. Yeah, people book a lot of amateur fighters. They'll book on the same card. They don't always agree to the actual fight following up. They'll just book multiple fights and pick the one that's actually possible. So there's nothing set in stone for most of these. I know Cody will probably fight Randy Sosa. Another good one on there is Josh Burnett's guy, Brandon Vilas, who works at Uncle Henry's Deli, which I go to all the time up in Downey. Fighting Nick Patia, another CSW warrior. Nick's pretty 4-3-1 right now, and I believe he's
He
actually
fought on SPARSTAR, right?
yeah. Nick's fought. I think he's fought. You might have seen him at CFL too. He fought Julio Rios.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Nick's a cool dude. And even after I believe him and Julio went to a draw, or no, I think he
Ferocious.
got the dub on Julio. He even admitted like I didn't get the dub on him. So Nick's a really respectable guy. And he comes in the brawl, like he comes in to throw some hands. I like Nick. He's a cool dude.
People from CSW can fight mean. Like that aggression. And not like mean like they're mean people and whatever, but I mean like they have that aggression, that forward.
And they'll probably show it full force. Gonna see a bantamweight, Joseph Badali, ranked 5 from CSW. It looks like, and they try to keep him in the same corner. Yeah, just those two. Like I said, we have our own Chase Whitmer. Rounders has a couple guys. Tracy always puts his eyes on.
Someone was talking to me about being on this card. Who's this? Oh, Brandon Vouter? Is that how you say that? Vouter? That sounds Dutch. Almost.
Yeah, it is. Leon Jiu-Jitsu, age 27, 2-1, lightweight. Fighting Juan Vasquez, MMA. That's a really good guy at lightweight.
Yes.
That
He fought. Didn't he just fight Joe? No.
I feel it could be a title. I'm not quite sure what the lightweight belt's at for the KO promotion.
But yeah, shout out to Brandon. He was actually. I mean, I had this on the calendar, but I always like to get to know the people that are actually on the card. And he said that he was on it, so that's fucking exciting. So best of luck to you. That's gonna be a really good fight. Yeah, same age. Juan does have a lot of fights. Dude, 8 fights?
There's quite a few people with a lot of fights on here.
Yeah.
Way to go, Tracy, matchmaker.
Yeah, I like that experience. Like,
Yeah.
'cause to be
Another
honest,
good one. Shout out to a former opponent of mine, Roman Gonzalez. I believe it says welterweight. He's fought at 55 before, but this will be at 170. He's fighting Arslan Mayel, 10th fight of Burbank, Fight Science. And that guy's at 3-4, so that should be a pretty good fight. I love when there's like a lot of fights on the record. You see these guys come out.
Yeah, I like that.
All right.
Wait, what is this? Who is
Dorsey.
you know,
I've seen him before.
what's going on? What?
And Jesse
7
Herrera
fights,
at
5
Tracy
fights.
Grant.
Okay.
Also,
Okay, I was
when
looking.
on Camo 2, you gotta recognize that sometimes they fight out of state, so they might have more fights than you think. They might fight in Vegas or they might fight somewhere else. Or they might fight for Cali Cage Awards and they're not sanctioned by Camo.
Oh, nice. Damn.
So,
Yeah, that's crazy. But fuck it, it's gonna be good. They got fucking hell of people on here. I mean, 16 fights.
yeah,
Well, I guess 15.
thank you
fights.
again for Mike Gross for the SPARSTAR passes,
Yes,
media
Michael
passes.
Gross is the fucking man. Oh, and if you didn't see him, his suit was fucking awesome.
It was hella
Every
glam.
time,
Glam.
like I know. I wanted to get a photo with you, but I didn't catch you until you were changed out of it. So there goes that. But
There's,
I'll get it next time.
Hightower, the matchmaker for Tough Enough, she always has like a different dress too. And I think Heather has that too. She always gets dolled up heavily in it.
Hey, it's part of it. It's part of it.
They go out in full force. Shout out T-Bone Steaks, Bidia, the only promoter with a nickname. I am definitely a SPARSTAR fan.
Yeah,
They're just a great promotion.
they do work. They do it well.
I love the venue. It's right next to where I live at now. Down
You're like,
Commerce.
this is perfect.
Yeah,
Nice. So moving
Should
on.
we get to the big leagues?
Yeah.
Time for the big leagues. Back to the pros.
Yes.
All right, this Saturday, UFC 246. Do some predictions, some breakdowns. Let's start from bottom up.
So we start off with how do you pronounce that? Mazo?
Out of Kings MMA, so I'm
Yes.
gonna shout some names you guys might know. Kevin Gastelum, ring a bell, anybody, Bueller. Uriah Hall. There's so many big names out of there at Kings MMA. So Mazo, yeah, she was an LFA prodigy. She got some fights. I believe she won her debut in UFC.
One of my.
JJ Aldrich was on Tough Enough. Or excuse me, not Tough Enough.
She's
Tough.
fought a lot of people too.
She's tough. She's at Rose Namajunas camp in Elevation.
Yeah,
So
she's
yeah.
fought a lot of people. I mean, this is an interesting matchup. You have someone with quite a bit of experience in the UFC for Aldridge versus.
Yeah, but Mazo's no joke either. And well, it's
But
promotion
I
or not.
think this fight is kind of leaning towards they're giving it to test Mazo. I think.
Yeah.
Because this is a winnable fight for her.
I think Aldridge is kind of like a gatekeeper right now. Like
She gets better though. Like she
does.
gets better.
She had a bad
looks
start.
good.
She just came off a win, I believe. So
Yeah, she
it
looks
should
good.
be a striker versus grappler. Because when I watched her on Tough and her fights in the UFC, Aldridge likes to grapple. Mazo's straight like
Yeah.
fucking Muay Thai, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Well, once Aldridge gets hit clean, it's kind of a wrap.
Yeah.
Like when she gets hurt, you
And
can
I
really
believe
see.
Mazo will have reach advantage because Aldridge is
Yeah,
really short.
and she's long as shit.
Yeah, Mazo. So I said Mazo percentage-wise 60-40 on that one. What about you? Percentage-wise,
Yeah.
out of 100. We'll do some breakdowns. Also, in the comments or slide in the DMs, send us your fight picks. What do you think?
Yeah.
Might be selling
and
out some free
why.
merch.
Yeah, if you kind of either agree or disagree with us, then put it down in the comments. But I'm leaning towards Mazo a little bit. I think she can get it done if she comes and she's ready. And
If you had to throw a
comes
number on it,
prepared.
what would you say though? Like 60-40, 52-48, 70-30,
60-40.
90-10, 60-40?
Yeah.
Okay, we're agreement.
However, the next one I'm leaning a little bit more like 70-30 type deal.
For Kelleher and Osborne, I said
Yeah.
60-40 again for Kelleher.
Yeah.
The
He
grappling.
has
He's pretty
too
well-rounded.
many fights, bro. Too many
Yeah.
fights in the UFC. Like,
He's a veteran in the bantamweight division.
yeah, and he's not old either.
Yeah.
You know, he's not old.
I watch him. He's pretty slick.
Osborne, I don't know. I think he's going to be in real big trouble. I don't know. I saw him on the Contender Series, and he was losing that fight until he pulled out an armbar or something like that. But I mean,
It's not a good way to get in.
it was not. The footwork wasn't the same.
It's
It was
surprising they got
very
the
stiff,
contract
wasn't-
because usually they just want a phenom. So like most of the people they do give a contract.
And then
they
they give him Kelleher right off the bat, someone with like twice the amount of fights as him or something. It's like a crazy
Maybe
amount
they're
of
just trying
fights
to wash
that
him
he has.
out. I feel like Dana's kind of dirty like that sometimes, like secretly. Just like,
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe Kelleher needs to. Isn't he coming off a win though?
I believe so.
Yeah, but he had a little skid there. A little skid for him.
Next, Tim Elliott, who just came off a loss.
He was like 45.
Fought was a contender against Mighty Mouse. Caught him almost a couple times. but-
Yeah, this should be.
I think the loss will
interesting
fuel
fight.
him. How it happened was so just he never got to really show his stuff. So I believe 60-40 yet again for Tim Elliott versus Askarov.
I have Askarov in this fight actually.
You
He
do?
fought Brandon Moreno, and it was
Oh.
a draw. It was a very good
And
fight.
that's a talented guy.
Yeah, and I think
The fight was pretty talented, and both Brandon Moreno and Tim Elliott were on the tough series. They basically made it tough
but they
to
present different.
find someone to beat Mighty Mouse.
They present different challenges. I feel.
Elliott's so cool because he's just so scrambly and he's so funky and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, the transitions are going to be fast and swift. But I mean, Askarov, he came into the UFC.
Chael Sonnen talked about it best. It's this concept of half seconds. My coach Adam Lynn's been talking about it a lot. I thought about much on Turo's fight, but
Yeah.
things happen in half seconds.
Yeah.
Whether it's mostly it was in regards to grappling with Chael Sonnen, but it also returns to striking a half second. If you think a half second is
It's a
quick,
long time.
Chael Sonnen said, "Put your hand on his hot stove."
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend doing that, but that
Right.
kind of,
Please
but like
don't.
if you ever did put your hand on a stove, it's like only a half second, but to you it feels like a lifetime. And that's kind of
Yeah.
like made those bad moments, that moment to bridge or hip in to get on top or take that hit
Most
or get hit.
definitely. I think it'll be a good, fast-paced fight. The last.
Oh yeah,
fight
flyweight's fine.
Askarov-
Toe is off.
The last fight Askarov had was a pretty fast fight. There's a lot of scrambles. He's a legit wrestler though, and I think that's going to kind of present a problem, like especially if Elliott gets himself in the situation that he did last time, basically a takedown to a guillotine, right, against Figueiredo. So I mean,
Who is now fighting
for the title, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's an interesting matchup. I'm slightly leaning towards Askarov, maybe by like 3%, maybe. I think the experience is a big factor, and Askarov is still undefeated. I mean, he came into fighting, Brandon Moreno, who is no slouch. Very good
And
striker.
he's gaining momentum now. He just came off that win to Kaikara Francis.
Yeah.
That was on the Covington card, correct? If I
Yeah,
remember right.
crazy win. Good
And
for
those guys were
him.
veterans. Now also
Kaikara
got again
Francis
tough
is like fighting
alumni.
at the end of the month, right?
What's
The
that?
25th? Or no, the February something? The Acro, the one that's in New Zealand?
Oh,
February
yeah.
23rd, is that?
I believe so.
I don't know.
Moving
There's a
on,
lot of
there's
people.
this guy. I'm not gonna throw out a percentage for this next fight. Kamur versus Leded. They're kind of unknown. It's
Well,
that light heavyweight.
I think this is an interesting matchup because Kamur, say it like that. His win in the Dana White Contender Series,
They're
it
breaking
was
their way
pretty,
through. The
it was
Contender
pretty
Series people.
crazy. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of experience. Okay, like not a lot of experience, but he fought a guy that was 5-0. But so back to I want to say Kumar so bad, like the Harold and Kumar series, but it's probably not. It's probably Kimur. Okay, but anyways, Justin, that's his first name, right? Justin Ledet. He came into the UFC undefeated, was on a 3-fight win streak inside the UFC. He He's 9-2 right now, so he's on a 2-fight skid. And one of his losses, they're okay. I mean, Alexander Rakic, God damn it, Alexander and Johnny Walker. He was finished in the first round. So those are not bad names. Those are top tier names, you know. But it just wasn't. The class, you know, he had a ceiling. He kind of hit a ceiling a little bit. But I mean, come on, like
I just have a hard time with lightweights and light heavyweights. I know, excuse me, not lightweights. Well, lightweights sometimes too. But light heavyweights and heavyweights because they're so big and you just touch them once and they're out. Because they got
when you get a quick one, it's
that power.
Like, ooh.
We've seen some of the craziest highlights I like.
This is like one of the classic kind of
one wrong move, graveyard.
This is like one of the classic like not feed type things, but it's like okay, Justin's on a skid right now, but he's legit. He's proved that, and he has the experience inside the UFC versus an explosive up and comer with not a lot of experience. And that experience, that lack of experience, is kind of, that's the deciding factor, I think. I mean, this dude, they were trading punches, trading shots, and then he came up with flying knee KO against a dude that damn near looked like Francis Ngannou, but a mini version. It was fucking crazy. But I think, I don't know, I'm leaning towards Ledet here. I trust his experience a little bit more. But this other dude's very explosive, so you never know. You never know what may happen. I mean, coming off of however, it's been almost a year since his KO loss to Johnny Walker. So he hasn't fought in almost a year. So I'm okay with that. You know, you take that year off, buddy. Don't try and come back after a KO.
Like Johnny Walker's no joke. I mean, he lost to Corey Anderson, but then he got a win over Clear Roundtree, who's a bad motherfucker as well.
Yeah.
It's like those light heavyweights. Like it's hard to pick a fight.
Yeah.
If he had to put a gun to my head, it's so hard to pick something. Because like, I'm like, well, that guy can put this guy in the cemetery. That guy can put him in the funeral home. I'm like, oh, whatever.
Right. Moving on to Skelly versus Dawson. This is like one of my. Okay. Sorry, I think
we're divided
on
this because I believe you want Chaz, right? Skelly, you believe he's gonna come out top.
Yes.
I believe Dawson. What I've seen because he was on the Contender Series as well.
We've
seen Contender Series a lot, haven't we?
He's good. Yeah, right.
There, Contender Series. Dana's like, oh, damn. He said fuck tough. Contender Series where it's at.
Yeah.
But Dawson's grappling.
I worry about his gas tank. And Chaz has over 11 fights in the UFC.
I think Chaz mixes it up better with striking and grappling. He's well versed in both and he can switch on to both.
I mean, so
Dawson's is more grappling though.
But he's a good striker too. I mean, he can strike too.
But his intentions are to get it to the ground. So
I don't know. I think it would be like
right now, I have it 58-42.
He's only been to
58%
decision one time, and in that decision, he was so gassed by the second round that anyone with experience would have fucked him up.
It really comes down to the wrestling, I believe. If Dawson can take him down, but Chaz is pretty elusive.
But Skelly's good, man. I think he's like Division
really
2
good.
or something.
Yeah.
Like legit.
So he might still take down, and then it's on to the footwork. It's the footwork as well.
Yeah, I think this is like a sleeper fight.
If you can even set up the takedown. There's one thing trying to shoot for the takedown, but even setting up the takedown with strikes in the footwork.
But it'll be interesting to see because, I mean, Dawson has submissions. He has a lot of submissions, actually, a lot of submission wins.
Yeah.
Skelly can fight, off of his back, he had Jordan Griffin had taken his back. He did like a somersault flip. Ended up
Skelly is pretty fucking entertaining.
Fucking crafty. And his little interviews afterwards, I was like, yo, I'm a fan of this dude now. I really like his personality.
I remember his debut when I thought he was gonna be a phenom, but then he had a couple losses, but he's still in the
mix. He's good, man. He's good, and so is Dawson.
He's kind of like a Tim Elliott.
This is a fucking sleeper fight on the prelims. I think this is going to be
one
of the best
He's awkward
fights
like a Tim Elliott, but the awkwardness works for him, and I'm all about the awkward. I'm goofy as fuck. If you don't train with Goofy, you can't fuck with Goofy.
He was like in the interview.
Chaz Kelly's pretty fucking goofy.
He's like, that's just how I strike. Like,
I'm just
it's not
goofy.
pretty. Yeah. It's just fucking ugly.
I'm all for it. Goofy for Goofy. I'm goofy.
Yeah, let's see.
What would you give that percentage-wise?
55-45.
55-45. I'm 58-42.
Yeah.
Versus either way. Like I said, comment your picks in the comment section, slide in our DMs. We'll post it. Make an Instagram post, tag us, we'll post it. Let's get your opinion.
Exactly. The next fight. This is another really good one.
Yeah, stacked.
Drew Dober, 21-9. Jesus Christ.
Very well versed. I believe he's out of Nebraska, too.
Yeah, and
Southpaw. Pro Southpaw here at Fight Lab Connoisseurs.
I mean, he's in the last 5 fights, he's lost once to Beneil Dariush, which is okay.
Yeah,
okay
Beneil's a good name.
Okay with that. Yeah,
and I believe another Southpaw, so that probably threw him off, fighting another Southpaw.
Yeah. Polo Reyes, John Tuck, Frank Camacho, Josh
Those were
Workman.
all good names. Like, there wasn't a not veteran in those names.
Legit. And he's explosive. He can knock you out. That can happen. He can go all rounds. That can happen.
Primary striker. I think most of his highs are usually on the feet. Not much striking.
Now, Nazareth the dude he's fighting, right? Dude, I need to get better.
Pronunciation.
Jesus.
We found that out from only 2 episodes.
Right?
Me too,
God.
so we're good.
This dude is fucking legit. This dude is the next one up. Out of TriStar, he got GSP in his corner. He got fucking...
TriStar freestyle, being the best coach.
Doing it.
It's a super camp.
Yeah, pretty much. And he's good, man. He's good. And he's a lefty too, I think.
He's a Southpaw too?
Yeah, I think he's a Southpaw.
I gave it 60-40 for Dober just because of the names he fought, but you just read off and just experience.
It makes me nervous.
But,
I mean, okay,
Hax
well,
Barat, I don't know if I'm saying that right, might come out and get the finisher, like, we don't know.
He has 4 fights in the UFC, came in, lost, and then is on a 3-fight win streak. I mean, he fought Mark Diakese, and just came off of a win of Joaquim Silva. It was like KO. He's gone the distance a few times. Gas tank, not really a problem. Very dynamic as well. This will be a really exciting stylistic matchup, I think. Stylistically together. But I'm excited for that one too. Another lightweight bout. But moving on to Andre Fili and Sadiq Youssef, I think this is going to be fight of the night.
Barn burner.
So if you bet on this fight of the night. I mean, you have someone, Andre Fili, who Max Holloway just said in an interview was the most difficult fighter that he's ever fought.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, and he has so much experience, man, coming out of Team
Dude, he's like a dog. He ghetto. He's fucking ghetto. He's fucking.
Yeah, and they share a common...
He's a high-level kickboxer. He's trained, I believe, with our own Tyler Wombles at a classic fight team.
Yeah.
Cody Garbrandt is also.
He has.
I love watching Fili fight.
He has great losses too.
I love his movement. I love the stand-up game, and that's why I'm giving him 60-40 over Youssef. I might be underrating Youssef, but I just feel like.
However, we don't quite know exactly where Youssef stands. I think, right? I think this is the fight that does that.
Yeah. Well, if he beats Fili or if he beats a Phenomenally, that puts him way.
Because a lot of people had him as one of the top prospects of coming into 2020 is Youssef, but I don't know. I think this is a very
fucking featherweight in the UFC is crazy,
right?
There's so many.
And I mean, Fili's losses.
They could do
Michael
a whole
Johnson.
UFC card on featherweights, just like all Jeremy Stevens, The Beat,
dude. He has
Korean Zombie.
He has his only few losses here. I mean, Michael Johnson, Calvin Kattar, who just fought Zabit, Yair Rodriguez, Max Holloway.
Calvin Kattar is going to fight Jeremy Stevens coming up.
That'll be a good fight.
That will be good. Like I
and
said,
Calvin
you can
Kattar
literally
took
do a whole
that
card
fight.
at 145.
Took that fight against Fili on short notice. It was like 2 weeks or something. Beat Andre Fili. That was crazy. But I mean, he beat Artem Lobov, Dennis Bermudez, Shaman Moraes, who they share a common opponent in Shaman.
Out of Black Shaman Moraes.
It went the distance. Did it? Let's see. Fili was able to dispatch him in round 1, and it went to decision.
Fili only has his losses are very few. There was one.
He's
with,
either there or he's not.
Godfredo Pepe, I think, was down in Brazil. He got caught in a flying triangle or a flying guillotine. That was about it. That's all I remember from his losses. I think he's on a win streak right now, right?
Yeah, two fight win streak.
And what was his last loss?
Michael Johnson, 2018, where he was still at that fight. He's still at that weight.
What was the outcome of that one? Was that stoppage or decision?
Split decision.
Oh, so that's
So, you know,
split decisions.
and then
I count
two
those
fights.
as losses for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, like, and then 2 fights after that. So arguably 5 fights. I don't know. I didn't watch the Michael Johnson fight, I don't believe, but that
I
probably
think
would
I
have been
remember
a
that
very
one. It was
similar
very
style.
close.
Very similar style of each other.
Southpaw orthodox.
Yeah.
Because Feely's orthodox. Michael Johnson's the southpaw.
That one's gonna be a good fight.
That'd be a good fight.
Be excited. I have to go with Feely because Sacramento. That's gonna be my only bias.
Next up,
Is it-
the biggest phenom ever, Macy Barber, calling out everyone. Do you know what she did with Paige Van Zandt? I mean, she's been calling out for a
Well,
while.
she's been like talking about stuff, and no one really
She
knows why
slid.
she's
You know
saying-
Paige Van Zandt's husband, like Austin Vandervoort, I think he's
Yeah.
a Bellator fighter. She slid her details, made it public too. Like, she sent like a dog emoji. Was like, "Oh, sorry, he gets lost sometimes. What's up?" She was trying to slide in her man's DMs, trying to pick a fight. She's
Yeah.
like, "I'm gonna take out that big name. I'm gonna
Well,
take
what's
you out
crazy
dancing
is,
with
like,
stars."
I don't know. I feel like, you know.
Macy Barber is just out of that Duke Rufus camp, who she trains with.
Well, she hits like a fucking truck. She hits like a truck. But let's see though, because I think what they're doing is they're building her.
Oh,
She
yeah.
has not fought anybody like legit. I don't think. But they're building her slowly but surely, right? She fought J.J. Aldridge, had that finish. Very impressive. Hannah Cyphers, Jillian Robertson. They're good. But they're not like the next level. And
Hannah Cyphers
I
is
don't
good.
think Medifari is like that either.
Yeah, Roxanne Modafferi.
She got hella fights. She's
And
20,
she was,
23 and 16.
I believe, what Roxanne?
She's fought everybody though.
She's
fought
a
everybody.
veteran.
Jennifer Miles.
She was over in
like
Asia
number
killing
5.
it.
Sajara Eubanks. Nico Montano.
Well, she was at 135. I was gonna say 115.
Raquel Pennington. I mean, but she also has things here where she's
a grappler, but now she's
losing
at a.
like 6 fights in a row. Like, what are we doing? And then she'll get back on, and then but
She's
it's
a
just
vet.
kind of
Roxanne's a vet.
So that's
She's
that
super nice
experience.
too. She actually slid in Macy Barber's DMs. Was like, "Hey, the hotel doesn't have a what did she say? I believe like a shower to cut weight in." So she's like, "I'm staying at my coach's house to cut weight," or blah blah blah.
Oh,
Like
so
she
she's
hit up
like,
Macy Barber even commented, she's like, "She's so nice."
Yeah.
But Macy Barber put a twist at the end, like, sometimes like the new has to outbeat the old.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what's gonna happen.
I
It's
put it
going to be-
70-30. I put it
Yeah.
70-30. Like
But I
Roxanne,
think it'll.
Roxanne got better in the striking of training at a fight syndicate with
but she's still not on the same level as me.
oh yeah, Macy Barber just, well yeah, Duke Rufus, and
Yeah.
then she has a grappling to stop Roxanne. She,
I mean,
she might end up on top of
I
Roxanne.
think this is gonna go Macy Barber. If you look at the odds online, it's like 1,000 to like 300 or something.
Oh, really? That
If
bad?
you-
I give it
yeah.
70-30.
I like screenshotted it and like put it on Instagram because I was like, what the fuck is this? And we're still like a month out.
Dude, you're just mugshot.
But,
Macy Barber just.
Yeah,
She's
I mean,
pretty
she
and
hits
just-
like a semi-chuck. She's not fucking around. She can go on the ground. She's good there. I think with
She's
this
well-versed.
fight, I think with this fight will kind of show
And as
us
far as
is how she
athletics-
does against someone that has that experience, you know.
As far as athletics, she's just a superb like alpha
but
apex
I
predator
don't
athlete.
believe. I think she needs like another year. She needs like 4 more fights, 3 more fights.
Oh, to bash her for the queen.
Yeah, flyweight, like
Valentina
yo, like she's
Shevchenko.
good, she's good, but then you put her like compare her against Valentina Shevchenko, and you're just like, nah,
Well,
get the fuck out of here, fuck out of
You
here.
know what? We just talked about it too because I love Irene Aldana from Guadalajara. When
Yeah.
she fought Irene, even though Irene's next in line, I believe. After who's Valentina fighting next?
Well, the thing is like Irene is good and has the experience. You know, like,
Oh, yeah,
like some of
experience.
these people have experience, but they're not like good, like top
So
10.
they could do that fight because I believe who's Valentina fighting? Can you look that up for me?
Zay Lee, right?
Oh yeah, no,
No,
that's
Joanna.
sorry, that's a straw weight.
Yeah.
125. Look it up for me, and I'll keep everyone preoccupied.
Yeah.
Oh, pay attention to me. No,
She has a fight though.
I believe Valentina's fighting someone. I thought it was gonna be.
Shikagan.
Oh yeah.
Right? She's the number one-
Blondie
yeah, she's
fighter
the
is
number
her
one.
nickname? Blondie fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on the East
She's
Coast.
dating a fighter too. Who's that?
I'm not quite sure. All right, but now that question answered. So maybe Irene,
Yeah,
but
she's
Irene might just
dating.
not take a fight and wait for time. Like it's literally like
I think everyone needs to wait until Valentina gets fucking old and then challenge her.
That's what Paige Van Zandt said. She's like, I'm waiting
Same
for her
thing
to.
with John
No,
Jones.
Paige Van Zandt was kind of a baller, like just being honest, like honesty. Like it was just baller. It was like, I'm waiting for that bitch to retire and then we can move on.
Yeah, she's young enough to wait that one out. For sure.
So Valentina's kind of what her age is. Kind of older, right? And then
Valentina will fuck you up. So anybody,
Jessica
it's
Hyde,
just,
out.
yeah.
I
And then
think she
Jessica
might
Hyde
go
wins.
bump up eventually and just take out. Or
Well,
try to
once
take out.
Amanda leaves, she might
Amanda.
be
No,
able to
I think they
clear
might
out
do
that
the
division.
trilogy fight because it was
I
so
don't
close
know.
the first two.
Yeah.
And I feel like Valentina's such a competitor.
But
Like,
I mean, like,
it's like a
does
chip on her
Amanda-
shoulder.
Does Amanda want to do that?
Yeah, that's another thing.
That's kind of
She's like, oh, I'm done. Like
Yeah.
Dante, like Dana calls her up, hey, they're gonna fight Valentina's like, oh, I'm retiring. That
I mean,
perfect record.
her last fight was which title defense?
The 145 command man. I mean, we talked about
Okay.
it.
So she would have to go down again.
Yeah, but
Right?
she's fine.
But I mean, she's gone, but
I don't
she
think
stayed
blows
up.
to go
But she
145.
stayed up for 2.
And we're back.
But yeah. Anyways, Macy Barber, 90-10. I think that's what I'm looking at.
I give it 7:30.
I'm thinking stoppage though. I think she's gonna get a finish.
Roxanne maybe might get like a back take, rear naked choke win. There's that. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving that 30, or maybe she just has
I think that's
She's like
respect. I think that's respect.
the
is
kryptonite to Macy Barber. She'll just tear her down and control her for 3 rounds, and
But
Macy will
Macy
just
Barber
never
can
get
fight
off.
on the ground.
Yeah, she can. We never really see Macy
We don't
off
see
her
it too
back
much.
there. We see Macy on
But
top, we
I
don't
have
see her
seen
from bottom.
her fight on her back.
Have you?
And she's pretty good. She's
Okay.
okay. She be throwing shit up. She doesn't stop.
I just
you
seen
know?
her always pressing forward on top.
Yeah,
and
she
always,
has no need to be on the bottom.
Yeah.
I feel. But Anthony Pettis, Diego
Ferreira.
or Diego Carlos Ferreira, right? Or Carlos
Yeah.
Diego.
I gave that one 70-30 for Pettis just for experience. Is that
Really?
lightweight?
I have it 70-30 for like 60-40 for Fiera.
I know Ferreira's a big up and coming name, but I just think the Pettis back down at lightweight.
But Pettis just breaks. He's broken something in every fight. His last few fights,
injury-wise?
you know?
Yeah.
That's what makes me nervous, and that's part of the reason why he hasn't been able to continue some of the
But he always
fights.
comes back. It's like, look at him.
Right, I
It
mean,
feels like
he
he just
knocked
fought
out
Diaz.
Cowboy.
Not recently.
Yeah.
So he's back down at lightweight because he had his last, which was crazy. I never.
Well,
he
yeah,
was
I
at
mean, he knocked
featherweight.
out- he knocked
and then he knocked out
out-
Wonder Boy.
Yeah.
And then fought Diaz to a decision, right? Yeah, that went to a decision.
Yes, but barely.
Yeah.
Barely. The ref could have stopped that. He could have stopped that fight.
And the
He
one
got
before
hurt.
that,
His
those
foot was
two.
like,
The one before those two was Tony Ferguson,
Yeah.
and they stopped it because he broke his hand. But then he's back. Like he always comes back.
I
so.
trust in Diego, I think.
Ferreira.
I mean, his only 2 losses come to Dustin Poirier and then
Who's
Beneil
that?
Dariush.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that.
Games.
Yeah.
It's a good
He's
fight. That's why it's on
strong.
the
I
main
think it's
card.
a
We're on the
great-
main card, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's a great matchup. For both. I think the UFC is being very nice to both of them in this fight. Like, they're not feeding one, or they're not having the...
They could give him to somebody
know?
like Justin Gaethje and just murder.
Yeah, and just get knocked the fuck out. That can happen too. But I mean, Anthony Pettis, 22-9, lost Nate Diaz, draw. Oh no. Oh look, he was in a grappling tournament with.
Oh, it's on
and
Tapology
fought-
too.
And fought Jorge Masvidal. Look at
Oh,
that.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
yeah, I
a
remember
draw.
that. Anthony
Yeah.
Pettis, yeah. So these
But I
fighters
don't
are
know.
doing more
You can
jiu-jitsu.
see. You can.
That's
see
kind of bad though, because there was a quintet that's owned by and Cub Swanson blew his knee from Jake Shields.
Yeah.
So it's kind of bad when fighters do those side
That was
jiu-jitsu shit.
The grossest shit I've ever seen. But I mean, Pettis, I feel since 2015, he's kind of hit a lot of.
I believe Ferreira's a
lot
Orthodox
of-
too, right?
Yeah.
So you know what Pettis does? It's kind of crazy. He goes opposite stance of whoever he's fighting. So he is normally a southpaw, I believe.
Oh.
But if he fights other southpaws, let's say Diaz,
He'll go the other way?
he'll go Orthodox because he likes the mirror image game.
That's cool.
He always does that for all fights. So when he fought RDA, I believe he went Orthodox.
Well, I mean, that's kind of where the troubles began.
Yeah, with RDA when he lost the belt.
RDA, Eddie Alvarez, Barbosa, win against Charles Oliveira.
He just has a bad time
Max
versus
Holloway.
wrestlers. So if
Ferreira
takes over the ground.
Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier, though. I mean, those are two pretty legit strikers. But again, I think he gets hurt. He can get hurt with the striker. And so
he likes to bang, bro. He's like, let me bang.
But it's like, bro.
I honestly...
When your bones break,
he got
some
hurt
problems.
early in the Diaz fight. If he would have just used kickboxing, and he would have maybe won the fight, but then he hurt his shin, I believe, early. So he wasn't kicking. And it turned into a boxing. It turned to a boxing fight.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh, you're in a boxing fight with Nate Diaz. Have fun.
Especially when your legs don't move.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to sit down.
Because that's what Conor did in the second one. He turned it into more of a kickboxing fight.
Yeah.
He still put on the boxing pressure because Conor's a boxer, but
I think,
more leg kicks.
Yeah,
and
the leg kicks.
Ran around, was able to just walk the dog.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I think it'll be a good fight. Fan favorite, Pettis. Everyone knows Pettis. Everyone knows Pettis.
Should we move on to your second favorite fighter?
I'm so excited.
It's a good matchup too. It's another striker grappler. It's kind of similar because Carlos Esparza and Claudia Gadelha.
Yeah, they share a common
opponent.
Gadelha
got the nod in the judge's decision. Carla argued it.
I think it was
their
the
stylists
opposite.
are the same.
Yeah.
But no.
I mean, however, Gadelha's only fought once last year and twice the year before. Like, she hasn't been fighting a lot, And Grasso was fucking active.
She had a camp switch. She was in Vegas.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And now she's on the East Coast with Henry. So Frank Yeager's camp, Marlon Moraes.
Yeah. They were talking about that.
The Phenom himself. Excuse me. Why am I blanking on this game?
What?
I'm blanking right now. Wish Gracie on the East Coast.
Kron? No.
East Coast.
East Coast.
That fought soccer. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. He's gonna come in here and kick my ass on me.
Alright, fuck. It'll come. It'll get there.
It'll get there.
But I don't know, I thought that was interesting. I mean, Claudia definitely has the experience on her. She's coming in at 17-4. And she's a scary little lady. I think, let's see. I mean, her losses are not bad losses. They're all to legit individuals.
Henzo Gracie. I'm sorry. That Frank Yeager camp. So Henzo, she's part of that lineage camp, which is kind of cool to see a natural. I believe she's a high-level Brazilian.
Yeah.
Claudia Gadelha.
Yeah.
Especially with Hendo, it's kind of
Well, I know that from the last one they were talking a lot about working on her cardio and being smarter.
She's fought at 115 for the title against Joanna a couple times.
She's fought her twice, yeah. And I think...
she did get outworked by Andrade, though. I was on a highlight reel. She's on Andrade's highlight reel.
Yeah.
She got slammed.
Yeah.
Because Andrade's no shit on the ground, too.
Yeah, she's no joke. She's no joke. I mean, both of these fighters are top 15.
I'm assuming you give it to Grasso. I did too. I gave it 60-40 in Grasso.
Yeah. Slightly edging out. I think there's a lot of factors.
I feel like she's gonna learn from the Esparza fight.
Yeah.
And just keep it standing and let the boxing go.
Yeah, I mean, because she can definitely outwork her. She can outwork Gadelha.
Gadelha's tired.
Because if Carla Esparza can fucking fuck her,
yeah, she was in deep waters.
Get to her
she was
face,
gassed.
Yeah, that slows her down, But she looked really good against Ronda. What is her?
And Grasso put Carla. If you want to do the MMA match, she put Carla in kind of deep waters.
Yeah.
And Carla was dead tired in that fight.
Yeah, I think it's a good matchup. In women's MMA,
I'm giving it 60-40 because Gadelha could still come out in the first round, take her down, and submit her off the bat before,
I mean, let's see.
It just who's a slow starter, who's a fast starter.
She's only been finished one time, and that was by Tatiana Suarez, rear naked choke round.
The Habib of the strawweights.
Yeah.
Tatiana.
And the other ones.
What she did to Esparza too.
Well, Esparza though versus Grasso, that was a majority decision, right?
Yeah.
So one had
that was arguable.
draw.
Remember that one was kind of arguable.
So and then Felice Herrig and then Tatiana Suarez. I mean, those are okay losses. I'm okay with that.
Just Felice Herrig? Okay. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Man.
Yeah, it'll be a good fight.
Fucking that card.
Right? It's good. I like the way that they have pretty good women's MMA fights on this card. You know, we get to see some stars.
Changed because it was only like one here, there, now it's kind of mixed, and they're always good. They're not just there. They're not there to fill a spot.
There's more of them. Yeah. You know, it gets deeper.
They're not there to be politically correct. They're there because they're amazing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like these are great fucking women's fights.
Yeah, they
Mazo,
really are.
Barber,
Classy as fuck. So Green versus Olynyk. Didn't Green just?
He was on Tough. He's fought a couple times in UFC.
He just fought. He fought some white Russian dude.
He's very explosive and he'll throw his hands. Olynyk's the one from, if I remember.
Yeah, Sergey Pavlovich got finished. Round 1, coming up.
Oh, you know what? I was getting him confused with the light heavyweight. Got these equals.
Dude, there's two of them that look the same and like have the
Those
same.
damn Russians.
Yeah. But.
I'm giving it 52-48 for Green. 52 percentage wise, because I think Green was come out.
I think
He's pretty explosive. He's pretty entertaining on the feet.
I think the UFC is trying to.
But like I said, 52-48. My reason is kind of the heavyweight. Like somebody gets touched over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Alexei makes me a little bit worried with his age and the amount of fights he has. He's 57 and 13, coming off 3 losses. However, actually that one's a grappling bout, so that doesn't count. So 2 losses, but they're legit. Walt Harris and Alistair Overeem. However, they were both finishes, so obviously you're probably going to either win by finish or lose by finish, probably in that weight class. But it just makes me a little bit nervous that, you just get knocked out like that. But that experience, though, which showed kind of in the Alistair Overeem Jairzinho Rosenstruik fight, that you can outclass someone. You can really, he lost until the final second. So it's kind of like you never really know what's going to happen. Obviously, Olynyk has experience. Like, dude, that's like over 60 fights. It's fucking crazy.
Wow.
And this other dude is 8-3.
All the fucking time.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good matchup. I mean, I would be okay with it having it on the prelims, though. Maybe put Andre Fili on the main card. I don't know. Maybe
best belt go around.
I would be okay with this not being on the. I don't know. I'm not very excited for it.
Yeah, because Maurice doesn't have that many fights in the UFC. But I think they put it on, just put a heavyweight on the main card because it might end up an explosive knockout. Moving on to the co-main, we have Holly Holm, Raquel Pennington. 2. They've actually fought before. Real close decision. They give it to Holly. This was a feeder fight that led her into title contention with Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, it was Holly Holm's debut in the UFC was against Raquel Pennington.
Oh, then I'm fucked up then.
No, you were right though. Split decision, whatever, but that was her debut in the UFC.
Who did she fight? I think she fought a couple more times.
After?
Because they wouldn't give her a debut fight and then Ronda Rousey, would they? No.
I think there was one. I don't know. I mean, Holmes fucking legit. She's like 33 and something. It's like a
LFA in the boxing. But I think for MMA they gave her in the UFC MMA they gave her some feeder fights before they gave her.
Marion Renault.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, but I was very close. It was the same.
All her fights were close, and that was actually kind of scaring me when she did fight Rousey because I'm like, damn, she didn't even beat those girls decisively by knockout or anything. But then she ends up knocking out Rousey.
But then you also have to think Rousey didn't prepare correctly.
And stylistically, that was the worst matchup.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like if Ronda Rousey had prepared, then it may have gone maybe the decision. It still wouldn't have gone her way. But I mean, dude, it was like she didn't train for it. I don't know. I watched that fight and it was very emotional. It was a little bit of an emotional experience because you know what's gonna happen. You know you're about to watch someone's entire world fall apart. And that's what was kind of crazy. Yeah. She did that shit.
Rocky,
and then proceeded to go on a 3-fight losing streak.
Yeah. So
Fuck.
Rocky, I believe she had if you want to look her up for me, she lost a fight with Nunes, and they're actually friends because they're.
That's so crazy
her and her girlfriends actually get along. So Amanda Nunes' girlfriend is Nina Ansaroff, and then Raquel's is Tisha Torres.
But I mean, how about
Who's
this?
also going down for atom weight. That's who I can recall.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Carla Esparza, Tisha Torres going to
Yeah.
atom weight 105. There should be a tough tournament for atom weights 105. So
I
shout
know.
out to those atom weights, B. Nguyen, A. Nguyen, and then Cara Batara. So come on, it's your time, 105.
Should be pretty legit. I mean, I don't know. What kind of is
What was
crazy about
Rocky's
this
fight
is
after Nunes' fight?
Marion Moreau or something?
Again, they give Marion to somebody else.
Wait, Raquel. Wait, who after?
Raquel after the Nunes
Oh.
fight. Because Raquel got
Jermaine.
battered.
Jermaine.
And Jermaine, I believe, won that fight.
Yeah, unanimous decision.
Which got her in title contention again.
But what's interesting is, and then she had a split decision win. But like, what's interesting is Pennington. They've both been through some fucking wars.
They've both been,
It's fucking wars.
Yeah.
You
Holly
know?
in boxing, like there's some photos, some videos of her getting mauled.
Yeah,
boxing.
and I mean Pennington though, what is it? 4 fights into her career, then she faces Kat Zingano and then Leslie Smith. After 4 pro fights, and she went
They're both
3-1.
hella veterans.
Yeah, hella veterans have been fighting good individuals, champs.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
They fought for the title. Holm
yeah.
has the title before. Pennington's a tough alum.
Jessica Andrade, Holly Holm.
High level athletes. It's the Southpaw Orthodox matchup again. Roxy's
Yeah.
more of an inside boxer. She's gonna be like a
However,
triple G. She's gonna get inside.
I think if she can get inside, then that'll be because in that
It
last
should
fight,
be on the feet the whole time.
in
Both
the
of them like
last
standing.
fight, she just didn't go forward, and I think that was due to lack of experience because she came in at like 5-4 or something, or 5-7.
Oh,
5 or
yeah, if you want to
something.
compare the last fight. I think you
The
can't even
last
compare
time-
the last fight though
However,
because
Holly
they're
Holm
both
fights
completely
the
different.
exact same though.
You're
I
right.
think.
Oh.
But obviously
My
adding
co-host
more
is dead,
experience-
right?
That but experience. Obviously, people get better. I'm not saying that she's not.
So
getting
she's
better.
gonna press forward.
Yeah, and if Pennington.
Fuck, that might change my decision.
But if but it's
You
a,
talked me out of this. You talked me off the ledge.
But it's an if, right? If Pennington gets in,
Because
and comes
Holmes
forward.
is a master of space.
Yeah.
She always has the right,
Yeah.
correct amount of distance.
But when Pennington did get inside, she was able to knock her down in the 3rd round. I think that's why it was a split decision because she did knock her down. And I think
But it took
that-
her 3 rounds to do it. This
yeah,
time she'll probably do it.
But I think that was due to lack of experience and lack
I gave
of
it 60-40 for home, but you're talking me off the ledge, and it
But-
might be like 50.
Right, but say if
52,
you're looking at
51-49.
say if you're looking at this from a betting point of view, right? Holly Holm might be the favorite one, right? Because
The safer
she
choice.
shows up and she's consistent, right?
Oh, she's consistent. She always does the same thing. Like you just brought up.
For Raquel to
Distance,
win,
kickboxing.
for Raquel to win, there's an if she does this.
She has
And
to
that's
get
when it's like
inside.
you don't want to touch that if it's a betting line. You don't want to touch something that's dependent on ifs and buts and you know, you
It's
gotta
back
go
to the
with
walk the dog because
information.
Holly Holmes so good at walking the dog.
Yeah.
You saw it Rousey. We
Yeah.
saw what most of
But
her
I think
fights.
Pennington is a different human. She's a different human since the last. They're both different humans since the last time they
Oh,
fought.
they're
But I think
I look at Holly Holmes on Instagram.
Raquel
She's like
will
just
come forward.
a tri-star athlete.
Right? You're like, what the fuck?
That she could just do like ultra marathons. I bet Holly Holmes can run 200 miles. Easy.
Right? You're like,
That girl lives fitness.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy. They run those crazy hills. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, but New Mexico, Albuquerque. That's.
Fucking nuts.
Is it time?
It's time.
Ba ba ba.
Doing it.
The notorious Conor McGregor
He's
versus
back.
Donald Cowboy Cerrone. What are your thoughts?
I have McGregor by KO.
We're kind of similar. I gave it McGregor 54-46 Cerrone. And I've talked this about my teammates time and time again. Probably like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Papers.
Yeah.
So if you want to look at MMA math, the opponents, so when Conor does go against kickboxers, apparently doesn't fare so well against them. He goes decision. He doesn't get the knockouts.
Yeah.
If you want to look at Max Holloway, I believe Dennis Siever, they go to decisions.
Dennis Seaver. Oh, I just watched that fight. He finished him round 2.
Oh, Conor did?
Yeah. No, Max though, unanimous decision.
Yeah.
But I mean, pretty much all of his fights have been finishes.
The only kickboxer
except
he
for-
did was Jose Aldo, but we can call that emotional. I don't think it's going to get too emotional between these two. They're just veterans. And Connor's kind of laid off on the, especially after the Khabib fight.
I think he needs to win, and then he's just...
Then he can get that... Then he's like, oh, I got some reinforcement. I can back the punch.
Turn that on again. I think he just
I've
needs
been
to
a Connor hater
training.
historically, but like I'm on this one for him.
He's good though. Like, I don't know, watching his fights against these people.
Both
like,
camps have said they're the best they've ever seen. I think Cowboys is just saying to say it. John Kavanaugh is very brutally honest. So when John Kavanaugh says it, I trust Kavanaugh. Because Kavanaugh...
I don't know. I think
Kavanaugh would stay silent if he was just
McGregor's
bullshit.
style is difficult. It presents a similar problem as Thompson does. That karate style, like that style is hard for
his
people
wide
to
stance.
to
Still
deal with.
Predominantly a boxer. He's coming in there with no left hand.
Yeah. But I mean, he'll throw kicks. He throws, against a wrestler, I feel like ultimately Khabib, right? That's his ultimate thing.
But then
Cerrone
historically, he's fucked up wrestlers. Chad Mendez,
yeah,
Eddie
but Chad
Alvarez.
Mendez is one of those wrestlers that doesn't use the wrestling. He'll fucking try and bang it out with you.
Oh,
He
yeah, a little
wants to
bit.
bang it out with you.
He does.
It's the same thing as when he fought Volkanovski. They banged it out, like he wants
they
to
kind of
strike.
neutralized each other with wrestling. So when Chad did take Connor down, Eddie just tried to box with him.
But everyone wants to knock this guy out because of his mouth.
Yes.
So they're gonna want
So the wrestlers don't shoot.
Exactly. So we can kind of, but Cerrone
Another big factor is just the fact that Donald is just notorious slow starter. Connor, fast starter. Connor's gonna knock you out in the first round.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm agreeing with you on this one.
And I just don't like the way his chin's been.
But if it goes out of, I'd say round 2, round 1, Cerrone can make it out and still be in trouble in round 2 and get knocked out. If it makes it out of round 2, I'm saying Cerrone.
Yeah.
He's gonna just mix it up. It's gonna be like a la Quina, just kickboxing. Connor slows down, and I don't know.
However, the only thing that makes me
This is dad bod versus dad bod too.
It's at a different
170.
weight, and
They both, I think that's equal.
Against Darren Till, who's arguably the bigger man in that matchup, Darren Till versus Cerrone, arguably the bigger man, he was not fast. He was not Till was faster than him.
But the other 170 matchups, he looked good. They both have surprisingly. So Connor's only matches were Nate Diaz right at 170. Looked good in both those. Nate Diaz is coming off wins off Anthony Pettis.
And I feel like though that's before there was no science about going up and down.
Yeah, well, not many people ever did it.
Up and down weight classes.
Well, Connor's done 3 weight classes now.
Yeah, crazy.
But this is kind of Connor's really not fought a real. Well, actually, no, he fought Diaz, and Diaz was a welterweight.
At that time, he was a big boy.
Well, Nate has fought even way back before. Fought Marcus Davis, Irish hand grenade, 170.
Yeah.
Came up, I believe knocked out. You could look it up for me. It was a Pat Miletich guy, I believe. Knocked that guy out too at 170. So Nate actually, people think of him as a 155er. He actually has.
Well, when you
like
look
his brother,
at the way his
Nick.
body was done or kind of made right around the Conor fights, he was a little bit more doughier than he is now. Now he has like a pack and he's slim and he's fit and he's, it's a little bit different. I'd imagine that also changes the way that you fight too because you're different.
Literally, my booty hole will be puckered up the first minute of that fight. Because Donald just doesn't start out well in the feel-out process.
I'm thinking like
Connor
first or second round.
Connor can analyze you in a second and it's knockout time.
Yeah. Connor is not a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not a joke. Like
he's phenomenal. I've been a hater on him for a while.
He's legit.
After the Eddie Alvarez, I was like, oh fuck.
He lost once in 2018, right? His most recent fight. Once in 2016.
But he's a different animal.
The last time he lost was 2010. So it's like, come on, guys. He only has.
He doesn't fight often.
He only has 1, 2, 3, 4 MMA losses. Yeah.
I mean, this is gonna be a hella big money card for Dana White, and there's not even a belt on the line.
Yeah,
there's really not even a belt on the whole card, right? Yeah.
I think it's
Nope, no belts.
I think it's a good little intro back into MMA, and it's really exciting to see him coming back to it, even if he doesn't need the money, he doesn't need the. So it kind of makes you think what's going on mentally, like what's happening there. He also had, in the past 2 years, he's only fought once or whatever, you know? And so, I don't know, I think it's interesting mentally to mentally see where Conor's at, growing through all the shit that he did, you know, went through whatever, you know, the legal shit, the Khabib fight, the Mayweather fight. Where your mind goes, the whiskey, you know, this fool's set. This fool's set for life and he's still coming back. So that's
I love the propaganda too. There's been so much artwork. Like it's been a hyped up fight. And then we have Budweiser versus Proper Whiskey.
I know, it's
awesome. Kind of cool. Budweiser, I just posted on the Instagram too, came out with his stats, because Donald's stats are great with knockdowns and wins. He's like up there with the most wins, most knockouts, most knockdowns.
Yeah.
Because he fights often.
Yeah. I mean,
he fought like back to back.
Yeah.
He's definitely a company man.
He is. But I think it's a good fight for both of them. Cerrone, paycheck. He deserves this. He deserves this fucking fight. I think Cerrone deserves this fight.
They're both gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah, he deserves to have a shot at it, I think.
This has been in the works for a long time.
Yeah,
called out,
he was supposed
ever
to fight
since
last year.
They would play in the press conference when.
Yeah, but they're not hyping it up though. They're not really hyping it up the same way, and I think
because
they just
of the
need
losses.
Conor. Yeah, and
they're both coming off losses.
Dominant loss. If they were both dominant losses,
Khabib and then the knockout by Gaethje. Really, when you look at the big picture of lightweights, they both plummeted. Just because we have Poirier.
Well, they forget about you. MMA and combat sports, memory.
Poirier's calling out Nate Diaz, but he could fight. McGregor could beat him at featherweight. Poirier's a different animal at lightweight. Then we have Gaethje, who would starch Donald, and I think he'd starch McGregor. That'd be a good fight.
Yeah.
That would be like, oh, I'm going to touch you once, and then Gaethje's like, oh yeah, you can touch me all you want.
Dude, and it's funny, Gaethje's not in anyone's conversations.
Nobody wants to fight him. He's fucking insane.
I know, but it's everyone's I want to talk about this.
After Tony Khabib,
I want to see Gaethje Khabib.
Probably does if Tony does win.
Because have you ever gone against someone that has wrestling and can fucking knock you the fuck out?
He's like a Chuck Liddell.
Because
he uses the wrestling to stand up.
Touched, you know, that's when it gets a little bit, oh my god.
World Series of Fighting veteran, Ray Cecil.
Against Dustin, I was a little bit nervous at some points for Khabib. I was like, what are we doing? And then I was like, oh no, you gotta wrap that.
And then Gaethje took those L's with Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier,
but I feel like that was a different.
I think he upgraded with Trevor Whitman. His coach Trevor Whitman rose not being his coach.
Yeah. I mean, he's smarter now. He's kind of like how Jorge Masvidal came off that thing and he just fucking people up. Yeah. You know, there was a switch. There's something that happened.
A change in the career,
transition, you know?
Epiphany.
Right? Where you just fucking get after it, you know? But hopefully we'll see him be talked about pretty soon.
I'm so stoked right now.
Poor Gaethje. That's crazy. But yeah, so I think we're both leaning McGregor on that. So if anyone is going for Cerrone, please comment below on why. I would like to
the cowboy hat.
You know, but it's the same thing kind of as Holly Holm, Raquel Pennington, except for a little bit less finely matched
another
up.
southpaw orthodox matchup.
Yeah, there's a lot of ifs. If Cerrone does this, if they do that.
So the distance would be in favor, but Conor's so well the distance, like throwing that left hand unexpectedly. You know, timing beats speeds, precision beats power, blah blah blah.
He's delicate. Cerrone, I feel, is a little bit delicate. He's like an egg that's fucking strong, you know, when you try to push it between your legs, it doesn't break.
He just gained momentum for the fight. So we had like Alec where he tooled Alec for, you know, that was a 5-round fight.
But I mean, it's weird
versus the Gaethje came out.
Because Al, I'm just gonna call him Al. Because I always put it into one word. I was like, that's a weird name.
Put it, your words the first name, last name. Al.
Because they say it like that, so I'm like, whatever.
Raging out.
But I mean, he was also one of the only people to go to the distance with Khabib. But then he gets dispatched kind of dominated by Hooker. So it's kind of like he's in a weird spot.
It's just styles.
Yeah.
Stylistic.
Yeah. Some people can do well.
He trains with Matt Serra, that Henzo Gracie lineage, so he was well versed in the ground to survive Khabib.
But he just kind of got up.
Notice I'm saying the word survive.
Yeah, he just got up. It was crazy. But this should be exciting. Hopefully, you know, it's also, you know, pretty much designed to get Conor back on track. But I would like to see him get back on track because I miss his press conferences. So we need to put that back in line. But yeah, and then next week, this is next week, and then what other fights are next week?
I saw on the gram, Mighty Mouse is going to fight for a 1FC title versus a former 1FC champion. That's no joke, that promotion. So good for Mighty Mouse.
Dude, someone just put me on how to watch that. Like how to watch one. I was like, where the fuck? But yeah, apparently you can do it. Download the app or watch it
Oh, they got an
online.
app now? Sweet.
Well,
Everybody's switching to apps.
it's
There's
through an
GSP
app.
Plus, and there's a Zone on Bellator.
Yeah.
And then most of boxing is on the Zone now.
Yeah. Except for Top Rank.
We have
Top
Jiu-Jitsu
Rank.
World League this Sunday. I'll be competing. You'll be there.
Yes.
I love the World League, the record matches. They have these really nice shiny medals. I believe this is, yep, there it is. Gold.
See, I have one of these, but I did not earn it. I just took it home, and I have a rash guard.
Oh,
That's
rash guard.
like-
I never got a rash guard. I always sign up early. I never get one. Well, fuck.
Those assholes. How did I get one?
Yeah, I
Right?
know, right?
That's crazy. But yeah,
It's a great jiu-jitsu promotion.
Yoel Santiago out of what's it? Common Grounds.
Sounds familiar.
Neutral Grounds. Jesus Christ. Neutral Grounds is competing at that one as well. So that's who I'm going to check out there. So that should be dope. I'm excited. It's nice to see the sports in like a pure form,
Yeah.
you know, and be like, okay, this is where this comes
And they
from.
do
you know?
gi and no-gi, so it should be good
What the
now.
fuck is good, you know? When you look at it, I don't know, it's the same thing as like me going to like, I went to like the last SPARSTAR, and then I went to like a media workout for 360 Promotions. Shout out to Tom Loeffler. But dude, the striking is just completely different. It's different, you know? And I'm sure that, you know, something that's like pure jiu-jitsu, pure whatever is. But I'd really like to go and watch the combat jiu-jitsu.
Oh, slaps. Oh,
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of turned off by it. I was all about the
Because
sub
Chael
only.
Sonnen has a version of that, different from
The combat makes
anyone
it
else.
more realistic.
Yeah.
The slapping. Because a lot of people will give up position, like, oh yeah, you can mount me. I'm too close to this toe hold though.
Yeah, like
No, because if you did that in real life, you're getting
you-
TKO'd.
Yeah, you would die. So there's that.
Yeah.
There's that.
Should we wrap this up?
Yeah.
High Life Connoisseurs, check us out.
Yeah.
Working on the sponsors. A lot
Follow,
of
like,
business.
subscribe, do all that business.
Comment, critique.
down below.
Even the most bullshit one you can think of. You know what would help? If you lick my butthole, put that on there. If you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
We'll catch you next time. Probably almost Sunday after Jiu-Jitsu World League.
All right. Have a good one.
Let's do it.
We're out.